Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Patri, and today I'm going to talk about all the books I read in October. This month I read a total of 13 books, and I didn't count the pages, but I think over 6,000. I'll put it up here for whoever wants to know that information. The first book I read was House of Earth and Blood. I'm not gonna say anything about this book because I think it's amazing when you go into a Sarah J Maas series without knowing anything about it. I have it all tabbed. It's amazing. I just ordered the Throne of Glass box set, and again, I know nothing about it because I just think it's the best way to go into this type of books. But I gave it 5 stars. It was amazing. I do have a reading blog on my channel reading this book if you want to watch it. I wanted to make a little pause between the first and the second book from the series, so I read The Long Game on my Kindle. She does something that is filmed and she works for a football team, I think. So basically she gets sent away to help another team, and basically she gets there and she finds out it's a girls football team and the coach is a retired football player, something like that. It's really cool and it's small town, so I immediately loved it, obviously. And then I got into the second book from the Crescent City series. Again, it's a 5 stars. I have no words for what I was feeling through the end of this book. Just changed my life, and I'm patiently, ironically speaking, waiting for the next book to come out on January. But I don't know, I haven't seen the cover of this edition, and I'm not going to buy different editions because obviously I already have this edition, so I don't know if I'm gonna have to wait, which would be horrible. Then I read Wildfire, which is the second book in the, I don't know what's the name of the series, but the first book in the series is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. This book felt really out of place because it's supposed to be like hockey romances, and okay, the main character is a hockey player, but that's it. There's nothing else hockey related, I don't know. And it's on a summer camp. Basically, the main character has a one-night stand with this girl from his university. They think they're not going to see each other again, and then they end up in the same summer camp, both being counselors in the camp, so awkward. It was really cute. I gave it a 3.75. It wasn't too deep for me. It didn't have like enough explanations of things. I'm talking about what I think I felt at that moment because I usually have amnesia with the books I read and forget about everything. But I don't know, I think it didn't have enough depth. Like, it was trying to talk about important things, but at the same time it didn't do it properly. I don't know, I needed something else. And then I read 3 witchy books. The first one was The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I really enjoyed this book. I love the family aspect, I love the kids in the book, I love the vibes, the fall mood. I don't know, it was like everything was perfect. I give it a 4 stars, and it was third person and I didn't mind it at all. Then I read The Ex-Hex, which is a book that a lot of people love. I have to say, I would recommend it. Like, I understand why people like it, but at the same time I didn't enjoy it. I didn't feel connected to the characters. Again, it was written in third person, but not properly. Like, I mean, it's a personal preference, you know, like for me it wasn't written in a way where I connected to the characters, so for me that's like third person but not written correctly. But it's not that it was badly written. I don't know if I'm making sense. It was cute. Would I read it again? Absolutely not, because I like to read books that I know I'm going to like, and I know this one I enjoyed it when I was reading it, but I felt that the witchy part wasn't really there and the romance wasn't really there. So like, what was there, you know? So basically, I didn't say what the book was about. Vivi and Reese had a short relationship of like 2 months, I think, and then he leaves her. Well, no, she dumps him because she finds out, or he tells her, that he's engaged, but it's like an engagement that he didn't take part in. It was his dad, so it's a betrothal, I think they call it, when the families talk to each other and they decide you have to get married, and she dumped him. And that night, I think it is, she curses him, but like jokingly. They're witches obviously, but she does it like as a joke. And then when he comes back 9 years later, 10, I'm not sure, like nearly a decade later, it seems that he is cursed. So they need to figure that out. Then the third witchy book I read was A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. This book is about this witch which isn't a very good witch. She only does, how do you call it, enchantments? No, I don't know, like she tries to summon things and all that stuff, and it usually turns out wrong. So she's trying to summon Flower and she summons a demon, and he can't go away until she makes a bargain with him. So basically he has to stay where she is, and it's cute. I gave it a 3.5. I think it's a little bit better than the XX for me, but again, the witchy stuff, not witching, and the romance wasn't romancing. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. I think it was lacking in every aspect. Well, maybe it wasn't lacking, but my expectations were pretty high. So, yes. Then I read a new release, which is Caught Up from the Mile High series. I don't know what's the name of the series, but we have Mile High, The Right Move, and Caught Up. This is a single dad trope, so I'm obviously gonna like it. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 stars, but now thinking about it, maybe it's a 4.25. I don't know, but I loved the kid, I loved the dad, I loved the nanny. That's the other trope, is like my kid's nanny. So basically he's a baseball player, he has a kid, he's a single parent, and he needs to find someone to take care of his son while he takes him on the road, but at the same time he needs someone to take care of him when he's at practice or in, do you call them matches? I don't know, but he needs someone, and his coach's daughter just quit her job. So the coach is like, perfect, my daughter can take care of your child. And he's gone through a lot of nannies because he doesn't like anyone for his kid. And basically she's gonna be with them for the summer, but then she's going back to her real job, which is luxury baker, something like that. She goes to a really fancy restaurants and switches their dessert menu and makes it better. And it's really cute, I really liked it. Then I read another paperback. I read Maggie Moves On. This is another Lucy Score book. I just didn't know what to pick, and I was like, let's pick something from my bookshelf because I haven't really read a lot of paperbacks this month. And basically this book is about this YouTuber which does renovations. So she buys a house, she renovates it, then she sells it, and she creates content through the renovation process, and that's how she makes money. And she hires this landscaper. I don't know why at the beginning. I really usually don't read the back of the books, and this one I read like over it a long time ago when I was going to buy it, and I don't know why I thought it was going to be like enemies to lovers, but it isn't. He's like a really flirtatious guy, and I don't know, he's super cute, and he has a dog called Kevin. Amazing. And I gave this book a 3.75, but I think the rating should go up to 4 stars, because the thing is, I really enjoyed the story, but I wasn't in a perfect mindset for it. I had like a lot of things on my mind, so I wasn't really paying attention to the book maybe, or like enjoying it as much as I should. So yes, I think it should be more of a 4 stars, and I really enjoyed the whole story. And then I read another 5-star book. If you can see, I've read a lot of long books this month, but I enjoyed them all. Well, yes, we could say that. I read Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. When I bought this book, this is my first Chloe Walsh book, so I wanted to be economically responsible, and I only bought the first one. Huge mistake. I really enjoyed it, and it ends on a cliffhanger. And before I finished the book, I was like, I'm gonna just order the second one, but I read it in 2 days or 3 days maybe. So it didn't come on time because I live really far away, so books tend to take like 2 to 3 weeks to come if it's fast. So yes, I really enjoyed this book. It's a 5 stars. It's an 800-page book and I read it in 3 days. You can imagine if I loved it. I've never read a book so quick in my life. And I'm patiently waiting on the second one, and I pre-ordered this same edition, the next 2 books, and I have the 5th book on my wish list. Okay, I'm going to talk about this book, but like in a general way. The main male character is a rugby player, and he's from Tomini College. And then the female main character, Shannon, switches schools to this private school because she was getting bullied on her last school pretty badly. And I don't want to say anything else about it, but it's amazing. I'd say you need to check the trigger warnings before reading, but personally I didn't look at them and it was fine. Then I read another physical book. I read Midnight Sun. This book didn't fulfill my expectations. I love the Twilight Saga with all my heart. I've read it 2 times already. One when I was a teenager and I hated reading, but I read it. And then I read it again last winter. I read my mom's paperbacks, which are in Spanish. That's my first language, just so I could feel the paperback in my hands. And it was amazing. All of the books were 5 stars, but this one, I'm sorry, like I love Edward, but why do you have to repeat 100 times that you are so fed up of yourself, basically, and you hate yourself because you want to leave to not hurt Bella, but then you are like, you need to stay? I don't know. I'm going to read you my review on Goodreads because I think it sums it up pretty good. Okay, I wrote, I'm really conflicted with my rating because do I love this story? Yes. Did I need a 756-page book of Edward just hating himself and feeling miserable? Not really. Did I need to reread the same scenes for the first book with the same amount of detail? Could have lived without it. Did I, despite all of the above, fangirl over the best quotes from this book? Absolutely. So, did I enjoy it? Yes. Would I reread it? No. If I'm gonna be honest, I have a blog where I'm reading this book, and at the beginning I haven't read the back or anything, and I think this book is like the first one and the second one, or maybe like the whole story, or just from when they meet till when Bella turns into a vampire. No, this is only the first book. Like, they turned a 400-page book into a 750-page book. Totally unnecessary. And you get the same scenes with the same amount of detail, which wasn't necessary because I already remember all these scenes. And everybody that reads it remembers the scenes. So, I don't know. I think it was a good idea to make it, but it wasn't executed the best way possible. But I still gave it a 3.5 stars because it's the story I've always loved, you know? After that one, I read Hopeless from the Chestnut Spring series. I'm really sad because this is the last book from the series, but at the same time, there's another series coming out, which is in the same world, so I'm happy. This is Beau's story. I'm not going to say anything else about it because it's the last book from a series, but did I like it? Yes. Was I expecting this? No. To be fair, if I read the back of the book, I would have expected it, but I don't read the backs of books, and if it's on a series that I've already started, there's less chance of me reading it. So, did I enjoy it? Yes. Was it a 5 stars? No. Did I have it hyped up in my head? Yes. Was it as good as I was hoping? Not really. I think while I was reading this, I was watching Steph Bohr's reading blog where she reads 3 new releases, and everything that she says about this book is what I'm feeling. I think at the beginning it's gonna be a slow burn, and it isn't. Like, they're talking in the beginning of the book, like on these first 6 pages, they already like each other even if the other doesn't know it, and there's problems, and those problems aren't talked about in the book. Like, why not? It's a really important part of the story, of this story, and it also appears in other books. So like, why? What's going on? But well, did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. Was I expecting more family appearances? Also, like, why didn't they happen? I don't know, but I give it a 4 stars either way. The last book I read this month was on my Kindle, and it was King of Greed. This is the 3rd book from the Kings of Sin series by Ana Huang. I give this book a 4 stars. This is Dominic and Alessandra's story. Basically, they are a married couple, but you can see in the first books from the series that their marriage isn't perfect. And I don't want to say anything else about it because I liked going into it blind, not knowing what was going to happen. And I also gave it a 4 stars. I enjoyed it. I finished it this morning. So these were all the books I read this month. I read 13 books. That's a lot for me, I think. Well, not really. I usually read the same amount of books, the same number of books, but I read more pages than usual, I think, because 3 of the books are 800 pages and one of them is 750. So I think I read more pages than usual. I hope you liked this video. If you want to see more day-to-day updates, you can follow me on my Instagram or on my TikTok. They both have the same handles. And I'll see you next time. Bye!